Hey guys, so good to see you here again today. My name is Kelsey. I'm KelsYogi here on YouTube, Instagram, and on TikTok, helping you get on your mat, on your hands, feeling strong, and hopefully a lot better in your skin. So today, we are going to be back on the wall, but instead of in a handstand, we're going to be on our forearms, or some people call it an elbow stand, Pichammayurasana, but we're getting on those forearms, getting the weight on our body. But we're going to use the wall to help us build that strength, that confidence, and hopefully some endurance too, so that you can be holding these positions, ideally without the wall when you're done with all these. So clear yourself a good amount of space. I like that I don't have anything hanging on this wall because sometimes falling happens and there's just nothing you can do about that. And you don't want to knock anything over, break anything, especially yourself. So give yourself a lot of room. I have a cement floor, so I had to have a yoga mat, but you don't have to if you have some carpet. I do like the grippiness of a yoga mat, so if you have one, get one ready. And you might want to warm up the shoulders, warm up the wrists a little bit, and if you are ready to go, let's just jump in and do it. All right, so with the first one, we're just gonna be practicing our kick-ups. And so what's really important when you're doing any forearm stand, Pichammayurasana, you're going to have your forearms down, and you want to grab opposite forearms. So when you lay the arms down, grab the hands to the opposite elbows. That will let you know that you are already shoulders width, and that's the perfect distance for your hands. Now, some people really have to interlace the hands in order to do pincha, and that's okay. It's just not my favorite because sometimes you feel like you may fall, and we need to use our fingers for stability to help grip the ground. So if you can, since we have the wall behind us, try practicing it with the hands down flat. Might be a little bit different, but what you have to focus on is that squeezing of the shoulders and the lats, pulling everything inward. And totally feel safe doing so because the wall's there to support you. All right, enough chatting. Let's just go ahead and get started. The first one that we're going to do is these single leg kick-ups. So get the arms in a position. Every time you gotta reach over, grab opposite elbow. No worries, you may need to do that for years. Then I like to kind of roll to the outer edge of the skin of my arms. Kind of locks them into place. I can see that they're not gonna go out too far. And I'm also gonna start engaging these latissimus muscles that go underneath your scapula. And I'm gonna think about pulling my triceps towards my ribs. Now, of course, they're not gonna touch, but that's the way that I activate to help give myself strength when I'm on my forearms. So get into position, palms flat, hopefully, and we're just gonna kick up. So I'm going to do 30 seconds per leg. I will let you know when it's time to stop. And go ahead and come up under the balls of your toes. And what I want you to do is to just lightly kick up, barely touch it. Now I'm kicking off my right leg, my left leg's barely touching the wall. My right leg isn't lifting up at all. And the reason why we're not gonna come up all the way is because I don't want you really getting that banana back shape. I want you getting used to having a light and airy kick up, nothing where you go clunk into the wall. We don't want to dent the wall. So I want you to think quiet and controlled, all right? So here's the timer. Get into position. We'll do 30 seconds on each side. Nice little warm up, and let's get started. So off the ball of the toe on the right leg, just gently letting the heel touch on the left. So really, really quiet, because that to me tells me my body's in control and I'm not just clunking, you know? My drishti is down between my forearms. I'm pushing out of the shoulders, and I'm landing as quiet as possible. Let the knee bend as you land, like a little spring to kind of help you absorb. All right, last one, go ahead, come down. We'll rest for a moment. You can sit up on the shins, always just letting the shoulders relax, soften in between, especially if you're not used to putting your arms or your weight into your arms all the way. It can be a little exhausting in the beginning. So if you need more rest, feel free to pause in between. Otherwise, we're going to just keep right on going. So let's get into that second side. Got the forearms down, roll into the outer edge of that skin. This time it's my left leg, which admittedly is not as controlled as my right, but we always want to find that balance. So get ready, and here we go. So right leg just touches, and nice and easy, we float down. Just like in any other balancing posture, I'm really kind of locking my gaze in on something on my mat to help focus my mind. But really, I'm focusing on all the stuff that my body's doing. Just a few more, hang in there. Last one. We got one more. All right, go ahead and come down. Relax. If that hero's pose and just letting the shoulders drop down isn't relaxing enough, go ahead and come into child or embryo. Bring the arms back by the shins just to really soften out those upper arms, let everything relax. I'll start telling you about the next thing that we're going to do. You just listen and rest. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, admittedly, is again a bit harder, but we're here to build strength, right? So what we're going to do is still facing towards the wall. We're going to come into that forearm stand, but we're gonna drop the head all the way down to the ground, right between our forearms, like we're in a headstand, and we're gonna push back up into a forearm stand. So we'll do that for a minute straight. Obviously, come down if you need rest. Do what's best for you. Breathing, breathing the whole time. So what we're going to do is, we're going to inhale nice and slow as I drop my head down. Exhale as I push back up. Inhale as I lower. Exhale as I push back up. And that's where I'm doing the work, is in that exhale as I push my head up off the ground. So what's really important is that you keep the core super tight and super engaged, because if you don't, it's likely that the hips are going to just fall behind you. So as you get better at this, you'll be able to do it with straight legs. But because we have the wall to support us, what I would like you to do is keep one leg bent and one leg straight. So I will kind of demonstrate here. So I'm going to keep my right leg in the air and let my left toes guide me to the wall so I feel safe. Drop the head, push it up. Just for a second, I'm lowering it down and push. And as I push, I look down between my forearms. But you can keep your gaze straight back behind you the whole time. Now if you do, your left leg and your right leg, try to switch out halfway between. That way we're just keeping our hips kind of balanced. This one is a little bit tricky and it can be spooky because you're really putting all of your weight down into your forearms and your head's dropping down. So I get it can feel a little overwhelming, but trust that the wall is there. That foot that's on the wall will stop you if you're starting to fall. Just go nice and slow. You don't have to keep up with me. Do this at your own pace. If you can't get through the whole minute, that's okay. Just do what you can. That's not a failure. That's how we gain strength. All right, I got my 1 minute set, and I'd like to give myself a couple extra seconds to kick up. So go ahead, get yourself ready. Go ahead, lock those forearms in. Grab opposite arm if you need to. I'm ready to start. Here we are. All right. Also important that you keep the glutes engaged. That keeps the hips from flopping down towards the floor. Lots of push out of the shoulders. I'm reaching as tall as I can, that lifted leg. I'm using that to pull me up off the floor. I'm guessing I'm about halfway, so I'm going to switch legs. Nice and slow. No speeding through this kind of thing. Notice what you're feeling and maybe where you're getting the most stuck or resistant. Huge strength builder for the shoulders though. And definitely for building confidence when you're upside down. Last one. All right, now slowly let the legs come down. And in this one, I want you to just go ahead and rest in child's pose. So drop your head right down, rest your third eye between your arms. Take a few soothing breaths, that way you don't get dizzy, feeling a little lightheaded. If that happens, please feel free to pause the video, drink some water, take your time. I know that can be a little disorienting because there is some head standing involved in there. And then when you're ready, sitting up onto your shins, taking a few deep breaths. Very good job. I know that that's hard, but you can definitely do hard things. Okay, so the next one that I have for us are these stag leg switches. And so what that's going to look like, forearms down, opposite elbow, you know the drill. We're gonna kick up super quietly, get that stag leg shape, and I'm just gonna switch it. Now this isn't maybe a perfect stag, but I'm only going to have one foot on the wall at a time, and even then, I'm alternating. So if that's too hard, you can walk one on, then both, then pull the other one off. If you're not quite ready to have, both legs off at the same time. But as you get better at this, it'll kind of look a little bit more like running. All right? I got my minute set. Hopefully you can see my timer a little better this time. And here we go, it's running. Let's go for it. Remember, quiet feet as you land. Keep pushing out of those shoulders the whole time. And if this isn't too hard for you, you can see maybe that I am just kind of on the balls of the tips of my toes. If this is still really hard, you may have the whole foot flat. So it just depends on your level and how strong and confident you feel. Keep your breath smooth and steady. You're doing a great job. Hang in there, you guys. You're building so much strength, so much endurance. There's 20 more seconds. Before you know it, you'll be doing these stag leg switches, no wall at all. Definitely feel my lats tuck in and quiver in a little bit here, which I love. It means I'm doing it right, and the right muscles are working. Again, sitting up, relax the arms. Release any tension you may feel building in your neck. Some people say that they have a hard time with doing pincha because they can't strain their neck so much to look between their arms. If that's the case for you, you can always drop your head all the way in. In my personal experience, I think that's a lot harder to be able to shift your gaze and look behind you because it kind of messes with your equilibrium and your focus. But if that works better for you because you have a very tight neck, that's totally okay. Everybody's gonna have different gaze points, and you need to do what feels the best to you, and the reason or the way that you'll find that out is just doing this kind of thing again and again. For me, I like to look, I started looking between my thumbs, and now I look closer between my forearms, close to my elbows. I'm not sure if that's just a strength thing or just, you know, finding my way, but you'll find your way too, so just keep showing up and finding what works the best for you. All right, so this one's kind of difficult, and we're going to be facing in a different direction. So I'm gonna pull my mat a little bit away from the wall. I need a little bit more room. And so I'm starting facing away. This one's a huge strength builder, especially for the triceps. So go ahead, bring your forearms down as close as you can to the wall. Well, I wouldn't say as close, but pretty close considering I crouched up in a ball next to the wall here. I'm gonna walk my feet up. I'll walk in just a little bit more. And so I'm just going to take this crouched position, and I'm going to bring one knee to a tricep. Right knee to right tricep, left knee to left tricep. So not only do you have to have pretty good mobility through the hips and through the shoulders, but lots of strength at the same time. So I'll do this for a minute. If that's too much, please just do what's best for you. And if you can't get the knee to touch the tricep, that doesn't really matter. The point is that you're getting that engagement. You're just getting as far as you can. So even if you're like 6 inches and you're not getting your knee to touch, that's okay. Still just try, work for it. Maybe you never know, in 6 months you come back to this video and you'll be like, yeah, I'm totally nailing it. So we do what we can. No excuses, just show up. All right, so go ahead. Let's start coming into position. It's a little bit harder here, right, because we're all crunched in. All right, I got my timer set. Give you just another second in case you're not quite there yet. And here we go. Knee to tricep, left side, and then right side. Left, right. It's a lot harder for me to touch on my right than it is on my left. And that's okay. That's just the tension of my hips, which is normal. So this will definitely help you if you're working on that baby crow, which is like crow, but down on the forearms. Hang in there, over halfway. Whew, I'm sweating. 10 seconds. Last 2. Ooh, that one was tough. So in that way, Some of it, the wall made things harder because we were so compressed for space. So we really had to pull the core in, really had to get really nice and tight. It's challenging, and as you could see, my knee was not always touching my tricep. I really had to keep pushing out of the shoulders in order to create as much space as I possibly could. So not beating myself up for that, we just do our very best. Got 2 more exercises for us. Whew. Let's just get to it. So as you notice, these are getting a little bit harder each time we go. Do the best that you can. The next one is a lot like the stag leg switches that we did, but now we're gonna do it a little bit faster so that we feel like we're running almost. Okay, but this time, again, we are facing away from the wall. So I'm going to move my mat out a little bit because I want to be able to straighten the legs a little bit more and run a bit. So think mountain climbers as you do this. All right, so forearms down. I'll give you a little demonstration. Feel free to watch first. So obviously, I'm more at like a funny forearm plank position, and I'm just going to be pumping the knees in the whole time, pushing out of those shoulders. Compress the belly button towards spine the whole time. Whew. All right, I'm still dying from that last baby crow one. Deep calming breath, and let's get to it. Go ahead and make your way into the position. You need a little bit more room this time than you did last time. Feet are up higher. You ready? Let's run. Keep pushing out of the shoulders. Keep that upper back slightly rounded as you protract the shoulders. And just like we talked about earlier, come onto the balls of the toes, just lightly touching the wall, not thunking hard. Nice and quiet. Lock that drishti in and breathe through your nose. Maybe a little faster, maybe a little slower. Where are you at? Last 20 seconds, keep pumping. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? We can do hard things. I'm breathing. Keep at it. There we go. Woo! Definitely getting harder. Definitely need to sit up for a moment. Breathe, calm the mind, calm the breath. Those things are so important to do. That way the next time we have a new exercise or practice, our body's a little bit calmer, more focused. I think it's really important to work when it's time to work, but rest when it's time to rest. Take full advantage of your rest periods. Because you want to take full advantage of those work periods. You want to do the absolute best that you can, staying as focused and hardworking as you can. So if you take that 20, 30 seconds, whatever it is, a minute, 2 minutes, to rest in between, really allow yourself to have that. That way the next time you show up, you can be 100%, or at least the best you can be. All right, so like I said, I got one more drill for you guys. I'm gonna put my mat back closer once again. And I think it's really important to work that eccentric strength. So we're going to work on having the weight on one arm at a time, which I know can be really disorienting and scary, but it's a huge way of building stability through the shoulders and through the back and building a lot of strength. So we're going to work on finding that funky pincha, that funky forearm stand shape. Again, I will show you. So when you come into the forearm stand, like always, arms down, elbows, shoulders width. I'm gonna come to my tiptoes here, so you can see my knees are bent, I'm on my toes. You can have the feet flat if that feels a little better to you, just so that you know the wall's there and you feel safe. Now what I'm gonna have you do is bring one hand back to about where the opposite elbow is, and try to keep the elbow out. Don't let it flare out, but keep it in line with the body. And we're gonna hold for 10 seconds. Now if this is too much and you're afraid to really bring that hand back, what I'll have you do is just push into this right hand, maybe lift the elbow. Play with just lifting that elbow up, or maybe just bringing the hand back for a second. Just where can you go What kind of strength can you feel? You might feel better to put a pillow down in front of your face. But this is one of those drills that for me has been essential in building strength through my shoulders and stability. So let's just see what we can do. Let's do 10-second holds 3 times on each arm, okay? And if you're like, Kelsey, I just can't do this. This is too much. I cannot lift one arm and bring it back yet, whether it's because you're scared of the strength's just not there yet, then I want you to just play with just shifting the weight. So you're just gonna maybe bring a little bit more weight into that left, feel like that right arm's a little bit more free. Maybe you can't move it yet. In the beginning, it will feel like I can't move it. It doesn't listen to me, it's not working. So just play with shifting the weight. Hold that weight shifted for 10 seconds and really engage those lats. Push that floor away so that this right arm feels a little bit more free. Don't say, oh, I can't. Say, I'll try. All right? So I don't even think that we need the timer this time because we're just going to do 3 10-second holds. We'll come down and then we'll do the second side. All right? Here we go. Forearms are down. Kick up, come to the balls of the toes. And I'm going to just, remember you can just shift the weight. Here with weight shifted, I already feel those lats turn on the left. If you can, bring it back. Elbow in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Push out of that left, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back down, quietly, easily. Take a calming breath. Let's do it again. Shift, push, bring the elbow in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice and easy, set it back down. Take a calming breath. Got one more time on this side. When you're ready, step it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pushing. 6, 7. Don't dump. 8, 9, 10. Can you set it back slow? Nice. Come down. Breathe in and out. So if you're right-handed, which I am, hopefully that was the hard side because we were bringing so much of that weight into the left arm, and maybe your left arm is just not dominant, not strong, but this is how we get it strong. We say, right arm, you are not taking all the weight, you're not carrying everything. Left arm, step it up, you can do it. So hopefully you are right-handed and the second side will be a little bit easier for you. But I think building balance on just one side, that unilateral strength, is huge, huge for getting strength for holding your arm balances. All right, so we got one more, and then one maybe little surprise or 2 practice holds at the end. Let's do that second side. So you probably won't be able to see my left arm as well, but it will look a lot like the other side. All right, so let's kick up, and then we're gonna bring that right hand back this time. All right. Oh no, we did bring the right hand back. Now we're gonna bring the left hand back, excuse me. All right, kick it up. Balls of the toes. Get ready to shift that weight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring it back down, or just shift the weight evenly. Take a breath. Here we go again. Shift and push. Elbow in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep pushing. 6, 7, 8. Lock that gaze. 9, 10. Set it down calmly. We got one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feel it squeeze under those ribs. 7, 8, 9, 10. Set it down. Woo! Very good job. Even if that felt impossible for you and you still attempted, you tried, good for you. That's how we build strength. Whew. And when we have to move our body around like that, when we are in an inversion, it really, really, really forces us to stabilize those shoulders. Like, man, my legs are moving, or this other arm's moving. Like, the shoulders have to get super, super engaged, super stable, really building that strength so that when we hold just straight body, we're gonna be like, oh, man, that's easy. That's no big deal because I've done things that are even harder than that. Whew. All right, so let's do a couple little holds since we're getting really comfortable in our forearm stand and our pincha. Maybe your arms are feeling like jello, but I will tell you sometimes that's some of the best time to hold your inversions. Like you don't want to be to the point where you're so exhausted, so tired that you're like, you're done, you're gonna fall over, you're gonna crack your head. Not then, but like, whew, man, I am warmed up and I'm tired, but my shoulders, my core, my glutes, like I'm engaged, I'm ready to go. So let's try an inversion. Let's hold it on the wall, see how that feels. This is an inversion that I really like doing in forearm stand, and it's called a hollow back. So what we're gonna do is just drop our butt to the wall. So we're gonna be in this forearm stand hold, and then we're gonna drop our butt down. So just our lumbar spine, our low back is going to arch, and we're just gonna kind of sit on the wall. And we're gonna see if we can hold it for a minute. A lot of pushing has to happen from the shoulders, as well as a lot of open. They've got to be very, very stretched open and strong. So it's a little difficult. So my heels come to the wall, and then I have to trust. There's the wall. Keep pushing out of the shoulders. All right? Let's give it a go. So maybe a minute's too long because it is a back bend as well. Let's just do 30 seconds. Even if you just play with it and you come to it for just a moment or two, that's still something, isn't it? So let's give it a try, see how you feel. Forearms down. Remember, I mean, if your hands are this close to the wall, just inches away, it may feel scary to arch the back, to drop the butt down. So go slow and breathe and trust. Like you know the wall's there, but if this is new to you, I remember how I used to feel like, oh my gosh, how far away is the wall? So if it feels like that to you, maybe have a spotter. They can say, like, you're 1 inch away, you're 2 inches away, or they can slowly guide you to the wall. But this is a great way to open the shoulders, gain strength. All right, no more chatting, Kelsey. Oh, if you knew me in real life. All right, timer set, let's go. In real life, I do talk this much. So heels are to the wall, slowly start to drop the calves, then the butt, push out of the shoulders. I really feel my rhomboids, all the muscles between my shoulder blades, really engaging and turning on. Keep squeezing the shoulders inward. Don't let the elbows flare out. Engage the glutes, squeeze the legs. Get tall through the legs so you can protect that low back. That was it. Pull the butt away, kick the legs down. That wasn't too bad, right? That wasn't too bad. All right, so now one more last little inversion. Since you're feeling super strong, let's see how you feel holding a straight leg, Panchamaya-Urasana. I'll go for 1 minute. You go for whatever you can. And let's see if we can like not use the wall. And so if you have to, you have to, and that's okay. So I'm just gonna come up, forearms down. I'm gonna kick up, hold that straight leg. And remember, the wall's right there. So if you have to just touch, come off, touch, come off. A big trick to that straight leg hold is squeezing your bum. Because if you don't squeeze your bum, you're gonna dump into your low back. You will get that banana back shape. And not that there's anything terribly wrong with it, but it won't be that straight line that you're looking for. So instead, push out of the shoulders. Don't let those elbows flare out. Keep them in by the ribs. And then I want you to think about lifting your body up towards the ceiling. Pull your belly in. So kind of your butt will naturally want to stick out. Tuck your pelvis underneath you. Really pull that belly in. Squeeze your butt. I know they don't always tell you that in yoga, but squeeze your butt. Lengthen your legs, point your toes, reach towards that ceiling. And just do the best you can. If you fall out, you come back. And don't beat yourself up, because this is just how the journey goes. We fall, we get up, we fall again, we get up, and so on. So be there for it. Just enjoy the journey. All right, I got my 1 minute set, a couple seconds to kick up. Do what you can, be proud of yourself. All right, let's do it. This is it, this is the last of it. And then I just keep running these internal scans. Am I pushing out of the shoulders? Equally, both sides. Is my gaze fixed? Are my fingers doing their job? Are those lats turned on? Pelvis tucked under, low belly pulled in, glutes squeezing and engaged. Legs zippered up, toes pointing and reaching, and then start that scan all over again. Elbows in, shoulders pushed, lats turned up, belly pulled in, pelvis tucked, glutes engaged, thighs squeezing, toes pointing, get tall, breathe. Yes. There you go, guys. I hope that these exercises just help you to feel a little bit more confident on your mat and in your arm balances. So today, forearm stand, Pinchamayurasana. I want you to feel brave and confident on your mat, on your hands. You can do it. Just keep showing up. Don't get frustrated in the journey, because it is a journey. Nothing magical will happen when you lock in that forearm stand. You'll be proud of yourself for not giving up. That's the magic that will happen, is you'll be like, dang, I can do these things. And you really can. So please tag me on your Instagram or your TikTok if you're practicing these things. I would love to see what you're doing, and to know that these videos are helping you, or if there's something else that you need, please give me that feedback, leave me a comment or shoot me a message on Instagram. I try to get back with everybody. I'm so proud of you. Make sure that you drink your water today. Be proud of yourself. You do amazing. Make sure that you give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. That's it for today, guys. Have a great day. Namaste.